There was a time when seeing something meant it was real. Video was proof. Audio was confirmation. If it existed on camera, it happened. That assumption held for decades because recording something meant capturing reality, not creating it, not altering it, just documenting what was already there. But that assumption no longer holds because now reality can be generated, not approximated, not suggested, but recreated. Faces can be replicated, voices can be cloned, movements can be simulated with precision, to the point where detection becomes difficult, and in some cases, impossible without specialized analysis. This is deepfake technology, and it didn't develop slowly. It advanced quickly, faster than most people realized. At first, it was obvious, imperfect. Faces would glitch. Expressions wouldn't align. Movements would feel unnatural. Audio would lag. Something would always be off. And that made it easy to identify, easy to dismiss, because the flaws were visible. But that stage didn't last, because the technology improved rapidly, iteration after iteration, better models, more data, more refinement, until the flaws began to disappear, subtly at first, then completely. Now, videos can be created that look indistinguishable from real footage. Public figures saying things they never said, appearing in places they were never present, delivering messages that were never spoken. And the more this improves, the less noticeable it becomes, because detection relies on imperfection. And when imperfection is removed, detection becomes harder, which changes the entire landscape, because information shapes perception, and perception shapes reality. What people believe influences what they do, how they respond, what they support, what they reject. And if that belief is based on something fabricated, the outcome is still real, even if the source isn't. In political environments, that influence becomes significant because timing matters, context matters. A single video released at the right moment can shift narratives, introduce doubt, create confusion. And once confusion is introduced, it spreads because people don't evaluate everything equally. They react, they interpret quickly, they form conclusions before verification occurs. And by the time verification happens, the impact has already taken place. That's where the shift happens, because deepfakes don't need to replace reality. They only need to blur it, to introduce uncertainty, enough that people begin to question what they're seeing. And once that happens, everything becomes unstable. Every video, every statement, every appearance. Because if something can be faked convincingly, then anything can be questioned, even the truth, which creates a new environment, one where certainty disappears. And in that environment, control becomes easier because people don't know what to trust. Some believe this is already happening, that certain videos circulating online are not mistakes, not misinterpretations, but deliberate creations designed to influence perception, to guide belief, to shift narratives without being detected. Not constantly, not everywhere, but strategically, at key moments where impact matters most. There's also the question of origin. Who creates these? Governments? Organizations? Independent actors? Because the barrier to entry is lowering. What once required advanced systems can now be done with accessible tools, software that is available, models that can be trained, data that can be collected, which means creation isn't centralized anymore. It's distributed. Anyone with enough knowledge and enough resources can create something that looks real. And once it's created, it spreads through the same channels as real information. Social platforms, media networks, private sharing. It doesn't need to be verified first. It just needs to be seen, because visibility comes before verification. And once something is visible, it begins to influence. People watch it, react to it, share it, discuss it, and in doing so, they reinforce it, even if it's false. Because by the time doubt appears, it's already embedded. And corrections don't spread the same way. They don't travel as far. They don't carry the same emotional impact. They don't reach the same audience, which means the original impression remains, even when it's challenged, even when it's disproven, because first exposure matters more than correction. And that makes timing critical. Releasing something at the right moment can shape perception before reality has time to respond. And that's where the theory becomes more than technology. It becomes strategy. The idea that deepfakes aren't just tools, but instruments used to influence public opinion, to destabilize narratives, to create division, or reinforce existing beliefs without clear attribution, without clear accountability. Because if something can't be traced, it can't be easily challenged. And if it can't be challenged, it remains. Even if it's false, even if it's known to be false, because presence is enough. Then there's another layer, the reversal. Because once deepfakes exist, they don't just create false content, they allow real content to be dismissed. Anything real can now be called fake. Any statement can be denied. Any appearance can be questioned, because the possibility exists. And that possibility alone changes everything. Because truth no longer stands on its own. It has to be defended, verified, proven repeatedly in an environment where doubt is constant. And that environment is where influence operates best, because uncertainty creates space. Space for interpretation, space for belief, space for narratives to take hold. And once those narratives form, they guide perception, they shape understanding, they influence decisions, not directly, but consistently over time. Which means the question isn't whether deepfakes exist. That's already been answered. The question is how often they're being used, how often they're seen without being recognized, and how much of what people believe has already been shaped by something that never actually happened. Because in a world where reality can be generated, truth becomes harder to define. And once that line blurs, control shifts from those who report information to those who create it. The signal continues.